Hi, I'm Kim Hocott, Executive Director of Communications. I'm here today with our Superintendent, Dr. John Kelly, and with our Senior Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Nyla Watson. Thank you both for taking some time to answer some questions for me today.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
So I think we'll be talking about today is kind of what the school year will look like for 2021. And I think that one of the things we want to impress is that flexibility is going to be one of the key words as we navigate this uncharted territory together. We do have a plan in place, as most of our parents and our staff know, but yet we will continue to evolve and adapt that plan as new guidance comes and new information comes out so that we can best meet the needs of all of our students and all of our staff.
Right.
So Dr. Kelly, my first question will be for you. I know the district is strongly considering a phase-in type plan and approach, and that'll be for those students and their parents who choose on-campus learning. Can you tell us a little bit about that idea?
Yeah, let me begin by saying that this is the most rapidly evolving situation I have ever encountered in the school arena. We have decisions changing from the governor, from TEA, from UIL, in some cases almost on a weekly basis. And so our decisions have to remain fluid and have to adjust to the pandemic realities as well as guidance from above. In terms of where we are right now, what I'm about to tell you is couched as a proposal. Next Tuesday night, our board will hear our recommendation for this plan, and that is essentially that we push back our original start date from August 19th to August 31st. So the first day of the school year will be August 31st. We're structuring it in such a way that the school day is 20 minutes longer, but that we are able to end the school year as we originally planned before Memorial Day. In the midst of this, we recognize the high anxiety level of parents, perhaps even more so. We recognize the high anxiety level, the justified anxiety level of our teachers and our staff, those who will be with, in some cases, hundreds of students in the coming school year. And so part of the reason for pushing back the start date is to give more time, both for the pandemic realities, but also so that our teachers are better prepared and that we ease back into things. Now, without going into too much detail, even starting on August 31st, when we have the two options, remote learning completely or on-campus learning, the on-campus learning is an ease into situation where for the first 2 weeks, August 31st beginning, students will come in only one day per week and receive remote instruction the other days of the week. And that lasts for two weeks. And then for the next 2 weeks, we will have the kids on campus for 2 days per week and 3 days remote. The idea is to deal with much smaller numbers, put our toe in the water, get things right in terms of all the requirements and daily schedules and movements and all the myriad of things that have to be done in this very strange situation. Adapt to that, and then as time goes on, we're able to accommodate more and more students. We fully recognize that for some parents, this is very difficult because of daycare arrangements, just as it has been difficult since March till now. But we must balance that with the necessity of opening safely and relieving the anxiety of people as the school year begins.
And Dr. Watson, if you can add to that, I just want to make sure that parents understand that if they choose remote learning, they will start remotely and stay remotely beginning August 31st, as Dr. Kelly said. That phase-in is for on-campus learning. So is there anything else you can add to that?
On the 31st, students will be expected to start school, whether they are in the buildings or working remotely. Our teachers will have a couple of weeks to plan and start preparing things that will be administered through our Seesaw and Canvas components. So when you're in the classroom, you will be learning how to use those software programs at a more comfortable rate, I would think. If you're at home, you'll be counting on a parent support if you're an elementary child, and junior high and high school will have had some experience. The experiences will be different than spring. Spring was thrown upon us in a short amount of time. We didn't have much time to prepare. We didn't have devices for kids. We didn't have teachers in that frame of mind. This fall will be real school. If you were studying at home, you can expect your school day to be exactly like if you were on the campus. The teacher will be teaching you in a class period setting exactly like the campus. It's a state requirement that we teach you everything and give you every opportunity, whether you're at home or at school. So we will be teaching you whether you're in the seat in the classroom or you're at home. Your day will look the same. You'll be interacting in groups of students. You will be having activities, whether you're in the classroom or at home. Hopefully you'll have the same teacher if you're at home and you come back to school. You'll have the opportunity to come back to school at the end of the 9-week grading period. You'll be able to go in and out of school depending on your family preference. So if that happens, hopefully you will have the same teacher if you slip in and out. And we will see what the issues are, what the success rates are, what the problems are. But that first phase-in period, those first couple of weeks, is a time for us to help determine where kids and families are, what kind of support you need, what kind of help you need. We also will be preparing some parent instructions, some parent videos and support that will help you get started.
Wonderful.
Yeah, let me add one thing there, Kim. One of the most important and critical variables in all of this is the ratio of remote learners to on-campus learners. Mm-hmm. And TEA has essentially specified that school districts cannot have parents commit to that any earlier than 2 weeks before the school year. But you can imagine the problems that ensue. We've got to develop schedules. We've got to figure out how many are in each camp and at each grade level and each campus and so on. So my pitch to parents is please help us to make a decision as soon as you can based on the information you have. We know that information is incomplete because we are going to be pivoting constantly and partly based on the answers we receive from parents. So we just ask you to help us and commit based on the best knowledge that you have at the time.
And I know, Dr. Kelly, to speak to that, I know that registration began today, yes. Open today for our parents. And so, I would echo that. We're encouraging parents to get that done as soon as possible to help make those decisions. So that is available for them to start making those today.
Very good.
So, Dr. Watson, if you can kind of talk to us about technology devices and students who are doing on-campus learning, are they expected to bring those devices every time they are on campus, that once a week or twice a week that they come, even during the phase-in? Or when we come back full-time, are they expected to bring that device every day?
If students will bring their device every day, we can make sure they're able to log in, they have access to the programs. Teachers will allow them to use them in class. If you don't have a device, we are going to try to issue some. As you guys know, probably by now, that we have ordered devices for the district, and we will be issuing those soon as they have arrived. But lots of other school districts in Texas have also ordered computers, so we'll have some backlog, but we are going to issue those as soon as we can get those in so that all students will have that same opportunity.
Great. So it sounds kind of, I would sum it up, it's like almost like a new school supply, that technology device, right?
Yes.
We hope eventually it will be like having a paper and a pen, that all kids will feel as comfortable with a device as they do a paper and pen. It's just a new generation and a new learning style for all of us.
Great opportunities for our kids. So many of our parents, speaking of school supplies, are asking about school supplies for remote learners. So can you tell us a little bit about some suggestions besides that technology device and internet access they may need?
We're recommending that parents buy basic school supplies for your student that they can keep in their backpack. We don't want children using supplies back and forth. We don't think that's as healthy. So we would prefer you just buy minimum supplies. There are supply lists on our website, but I would buy my own scissors, my own glue stick, my own pens and pencils, and those sort of things for my student. That we won't be collecting those in class. We'll be asking you to have your own.
Great. Okay. So I know that, Dr. Watson a minute ago mentioned a little bit about how remote instruction will look different from fall to spring. Can you talk to us a little bit, Dr. Kelly and Dr. Watson both, about a little more how that will look different? What, student expectations of logging in, grades, teacher expectations, things of that nature.
Well, the major thing I'd like to point out there is that during the spring, we, like all school districts, did the best we could. And the expectations in terms of assignments and grades and so on were quite low. It was basically, please participate and let's get through this and do the best we can. Well, that is all changing. For this fall, grading is going to be very similar to what students and parents are used to during regular school years. And that's regardless of whether you are remote or on campus. And so we're developing all kinds of things in place to make sure that that happens. Furthermore, TEA, in allowing funding for remote learners, has basically specified minimum expectations that require these very things. That is, daily work, daily progress, interaction with the teachers, other things in certain ratios in order for that child's attendance to count for school funding and for their own attendance purposes in terms of passing classes and so on. So I'm not sure I need to get into further specificity there, but
Sure. Anything, Dr. Watson?
Let me just add that teachers will be taking attendance every period. We're required to report that attendance, and the compulsory attendance laws will still apply whether you're online or at school. You'll be expected to attend the full day.
Okay, great. If you were to give advice to our parents and our students to prepare for the opening of this school year, whether they're going to do remote or on-campus learning, what advice would you give them?
Less advice and more of a plea. Please be patient, especially with the teachers and with your principal and the people on campus. It is an entirely new world for them as well. Praise them, encourage them. One of the great things that did emerge out of the spring semester was, I think, a whole lot of parents had a brand new level of appreciation for the hard work that teachers do. Well, this year is even tougher for those teachers. Not only do they have all their usual responsibilities, but all the anxiety and difficulty that accompanies this pandemic that we're in. So please, I just make my plea that you will be understanding, encouraging, and patient with our people.
And I agree with exactly what Dr. Kelly said. The anxiety level is high for you, for us, for the whole world. If you watch the news every day, and it changes every day and every minute, it seems like we get something from TEA and we adapt for it, and 2 days later it changes. So we're all doing the best we can in a difficult situation. We're going to help your kids as much as we can so that they can learn at the same level that we've had in Pearland ISD. We have great teachers, we have great kids and great parents. So we will continue to problem solve as we go along, and we address whatever situations come up. We will do the best we can. We ask you to do the best you can. And if you need us, email us, call us, and we will work through whatever the issues are.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk to or say to parents and our students as we get ready to start this school year?
We are very proud of our school district, and we intend to be at the forefront in this as well as we have in past years. And we are going to work towards accomplishing that goal. We want to constantly strive to be the best. And again, ask people's patience as we figure this out. It's sort of like somebody's made the analogy. It's like we're building the airplane while it's in midair. And so we're ready to take off.
Okay.
And I just want to add, in my world, and as a parent and a grandmother and someone who's been in the district a long time, I don't want our kids to be impacted for years because we didn't do what we should have been doing. We want our kids to be able to read, to do math, to do science and social studies and whatever electives they love. We don't want them to miss any opportunity that we can provide. We don't want them to be behind because we didn't do something. So we're going to do the best we can in every course that we can possibly do this way to give your kids that learning experience. So if we're missing something, let us know. Work with us. We'll try to provide everything that we can.
Thank you again both for your time today.
Very welcome.
Thank you.